It's now time for the #1 podcast in iHeartRadio. It's Your House is Key, the podcast that opens the door to your dream home. Hosted by the remarkable Danelle Shepard, he's your trusted guide in the world of real estate. Whether you're buying your first home, selling your current one, or simply curious about the market, this podcast is your one-stop shop for all things real estate. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host and my good friend, Danelle Shepard.
What's up? It's your favorite realtor. That's right. It's Danelle Shepard on your favorite podcast, which is the Your House is Key podcast. Today, I got a special guest. I want to say doctor, but she probably correct me. So is it Dr. So it's just Miss?
No, just Aruna.
Just Aruna. Okay. Miss Aruna or
Yes.
just, okay. So listen, but the information and knowledge that she's going to give us today, listen, I'm going to still, when she's not paying attention, give her the letters. You know, I think she have it. No disrespect to anybody who went to school for them, but I mean, it's nice. Nice to have it. So tell us, Aruna, what do you do?
So I am a licensed massage therapist and mindset coach, and a clinical hypnotherapist certified by the International Board of Coaches and Practitioners. And I'm a yoga instructor certified as well. And I do sound bowls. So because I believe mind, body, and spirit aligned, we are able to function.
Oh, I like that. Now I'm gonna back up for a little minute. So don't listen. She gonna probably be mad at me, y'all. So when you say hypnosis, I ain't gonna be like a chicken. You ain't gonna slap it or clap her, and I ain't gonna be able to sell real estate no more, right? Or every time I walk in the door, I do a funny dance. Okay.
No.
So that stuff not real, y'all. I don't know what they be doing, but that's not real.
Correct.
So in essence, I'm gonna dumb it down for me. So, well, you said a life coach, right? So you're here today. We're gonna talk about how you help other realtors that you have as clients or patients and eventually meet just whatever roadblock or challenges they have in life and how to be successful. And you say it starts with mind, right? Mm-hmm. With your mind, then you align the body and you get into the,
Yep.
you know, and the soul has to be, I mean, that should start there, I think. But,
Yeah.
you know, but at the end of the day, you are the person to help get rid of the blocks. And that's kind of what the hypnos part is too, right? The clearing of the mind. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Yeah. So when you said what holds the realtors back, for that matter, what holds anybody back is we get all these information, right?
Right.
Like 2.3 million bits per second information is coming with what we see, what we hear, what we smell, what we taste, what we touch, you know, with the clothes we're wearing, all that information is coming in. But we think that, you know, we can remember all of that. Especially women think we can multitask. No.
So there's no true thing as multitasking?
Mm-mm.
I'm going to tell my wife. We got this on record. Everybody, y'all don't multitask. Men do.
Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah.
But and I like that you give that. And if I cut off from a point, feel free to jump back in. But it's important because I want, and you actually jumped in because my first question I was going to ask you is, what is the biggest difference between agents who thrive versus agents who struggle in the real estate market? Like, what do you see one of the biggest difference between the mindsets?
So, going back to what I will answer that question.
Go ahead.
But going back to what I was saying, we get all these information, 2.3 million bits per second.
Right.
That's a lot of bits.
Yeah.
Right. But that is all coming and stored in our subconscious mind.
Okay.
But then our conscious mind can handle only 126 bits. And it gets even better. We can remember only 7 plus or minus 2. So 5 information. So right now, I can see that you are asking me questions and I'm surrounded by all these lights. I can remember, I can feel that, right? And then there is this light from here. But then while I was saying all of that, I've totally forgot there is a videographer here. So
I see it. It happens. That's why we forget keys.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. So there is nothing about multitasking. And to answer your question about a realtor who is thriving versus a realtor who's surviving, is because the person who is surviving, whether it is a realtor, whether it is a mom, whether it is a dad, whether it is a doctor, whoever, whatever job they are in, they are doing that because they are surviving, because something is holding them back, whether they are doubting themselves, whether they have a fear, whether they have a guilt, whether they have a shame, whether they are angry at themselves, they're angry at somebody else. One of that is holding them back. That's the reason why they are surviving. Versus the person who's thriving is, it's not that they don't have doubts. It's not that they don't have fear. It's not that they don't have guilt. They know how to get rid of it.
Okay.
And be in the present moment. Like, yes, I have fear, but I know how to handle that and take care of the situation that is here now.
So is it like compartmentalizing? Is that what I'm saying? That compartment a lot, whatever. Are they just like, hey, I can, right now I deal with that when I get done with my shift, but I got to focus right now.
Yes.
Okay.
They know
All right.
how to focus, and they know, because our mind, our subconscious mind can generalize certain things.
Mhm.
Like you know what you have to do when you are wearing the realtor hat.
Correct.
But right now you're recording and you're talking to me, so you're not wearing that hat. So you are now just like deleting that part for right now.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's what our subconscious mind is capable of doing. So to answer your question, the realtor who's surviving is worried about the self-doubt that they have, fear, shame, whatever. And the person who's thriving is, I got this. I'm going to handle this. They are acknowledging the fear. They're acknowledging the anger, whatever it is.
Okay.
But then they're handling the thing that they're having at hand.
Okay. Yeah, we'll get to that later. I'm fear, anxiety,
Yes.
wife who think you multitasking, but you're not. We'll handle that later. No, I was just joking.
You don't get me in trouble.
I will, but that might be a snippet video. I don't know.
Yes.
So what is the most common limiting belief you see amongst agents? And I know you speak of everybody, but I'm gonna try to keep it in the industry as much
The
as
realtor?
Yep. But so what is the most, again, common limiting belief that you see, and how can they overcome it?
That's a great question.
Ooh.
That is a great question. Yes. It's a loaded question. So the common, yes, exactly. The common limiting belief a realtor might have is, I'm not as good as Danelle. How can I
Not
get,
me.
yes, yeah. How can I get as good as Danelle? So the other realtors should not compare themselves to others,
Correct.
to themselves to others, because that is when they feel I'm not good enough. Does that help their self-esteem? No. So, I am not good enough can come from they are a perfectionist maybe,
Oh, okay.
or maybe they have fear, or they are just overwhelmed. Oh my God, Danelle does this, and he has a podcast, and he's on TV, and
Right.
he has this vibrant personality, and the other realtor might be like, I don't have any of that. So that might be holding them back. So rather than thinking about what they do not have, they have to think about what are all the skill sets they do have.
So that falls into, I guess that saying where people say, my only competition is me.
Yes.
I only have to beat me and be better today than I was yesterday. This hour better than the last hour, this minute better than the last minute. As long as I keep winning the minute, the second, the hour each day, I'm better than I was. Not really looking at somebody else.
Correct.
And trying to compare myself to them.
Yep.
Hey, listen, she preaching to me, so I had some of this. Listen, no, but I am my own. No, just no. But I like that because you help break it down to everybody has a rainy day, and sometimes you do look up in any industry, and you're like, man, I could have had that house, or I could have had that deal, or I could have something. Instead of paying attention to, if I take the steps I'm supposed to take, one day I may, or I may have two or three. And it's not they only had one, but what's good for me is going to be good for me. Yes. And so, okay, I like that.
One step at a time and not overwhelming. Like Danelle might do 10 things.
Right.
But another realtor might be good at just one thing, and they have to be confident, like, okay, I can do this.
Right.
And have Danelle as a role model, but then take one step at a time.
Correct.
Like you said.
I like
right?
that.
And whatever we did yesterday, are we repeating the same and maybe getting one step ahead? That's good.
Okay. All right. Okay. Now, in our industry, rejection
Mm-hmm.
is big. How do you suggest an agent handle the rejection? I didn't get the listing. I didn't get this, or my deal didn't close. I mean, we don't have. You could. I know you got just a short snippet. How?
That's a great question. You've got great questions for me. So rejection is part of life.
Okay.
And just because, okay, so give me example. You said a deal didn't close.
Correct. You were waiting and the deal was supposed to close, we'll just say today, and it was supposed to close at 12 noon today. And the client, whether buyer or seller, something went wrong. The funds were short. They got fired, or they quit. They didn't even fire. They quit their job. So it took the buyer, regardless who was represented, to no longer be in position to now buy the house. But now it's like, man, I needed this deal to close. I haven't closed the deal. It's been months. Oh man, it's been 3 months. I haven't closed the deal. You know, that part of rejection, like it keeps happening to me. I always, man, I don't know if it's going to be another 3 months till I get another deal. How would you handle that situation?
So you said a couple of things.
Uh-oh.
Oh man, I didn't close the deal, and it might be another 3 months before I close the deal. So that is the mindset we want to come out of.
Okay.
So when we go in, so all the realtors out there, if you want to be as good as Danal,
Uh-oh.
right?
Hey, she's saying it, not me, but thank you.
Yes. Then when you go in, it's the intention that matters, right?
Yes.
So when you go in with the intention, just close your eyes, think of, when you are closing the deal, how good are you feeling?
Ooh.
Who's the buyer,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
And just imagine, you don't need to tell anybody. Imagine that person and you're closing the deal, and do you see an expression on their face? And if you see the expression on the face, how good does it make you feel? And what are you hearing? Is the buyer with another family member? What are you hearing? The reason is you are prepping your mind before you even go to the closing. You are like, I got this. So, and anchor it. Guess what? I'm going to give you another tip.
Uh-oh.
And the realtors out there, if you're listening, visualize that you're closing the deal and hear the sounds and feel, and then maybe you have a favorite jacket, maybe you have a favorite shirt, put it on.
Right.
And say if you're not wearing the favorite jacket, doesn't matter. So imagine that, visualize, see, hear, feel, be in that moment. And when you're feeling that confident, you close the deal. Guess what? It is all an imagination. Either use your thumb and your index finger, press them together, or you can use your earlobe and just anchor it. You can do whatever. And that's why I said, if you want to wear a jacket, that is your anchoring point. So before you go to closing, wear your favorite jacket and you wear it and you put it on. It's like, okay, this is my anchoring. Imagine you're closing and you're hearing and you're seeing, visualizing. You got this. And nobody can stop you. So that is to reframe. So, and you want to go with that mindset of a winning mindset rather than like,
Okay. I like that.
And if for some reason it didn't close, guess what? Instead of thinking like, oh my God, it didn't close, maybe better thing is coming your way.
She's speaking up my alley, y'all. Listen, that's why I always tell people that was if you lose a client or something, that was a blessing in disguise, because that may have been a headache I didn't want to deal with. That may have been, an issue down the road and then here's the thing, right? I always believe in double for your trouble, because that's what it says. The word said double. So that's my mentality. And I'm not gonna lie, it takes work.
Yes.
It takes
it's
work.
Not easy, but
Oh
not
my
everybody
God.
can be a great realtor like you was. It takes a special person to do that.
And thank you. So even with that, right? and the giggle and the laugh. And I realized that's a mechanism, and I had to learn, like, so even now I'm gonna say thank you and to receive it, because it takes a lot to receive you can still be humble
Absolutely.
and receive the compliment.
Yes.
Because it's when you say, oh, I'm not the best, then you're hearing that, you're saying that, you're speaking it, and you think you're being humble, but really your mind is like, oh, well, we're not the best, so we can't operate like the best. And versus saying, thank you, I appreciate it, or I am, thank you for noticing, but you can still do it in a humble way. So
can I interject?
go ahead, feel free. This is a free for all.
So, because you said that, I want to say thank you. In the beginning, you said I'm a doctor.
Yeah,
that is an honor. And I want to say thank you. And when you said, instead of rubbing it off, say thank you and humbly receive it, I used to not do that. So thank you for bringing it to the attention. I used to be a people pleaser.
Uh-oh.
And I never, so if you had come and said, Aruna, you look great, I would be like, oh, come on. You look great too. Before even said, thank you, Danelle, and acknowledging it, I'm like, oh, you look handsome too. So I learned to, because it was the people pleasing.
Right.
Yeah. That's what got me in 3rd-degree burns to 45% of my body. And so I learned over time that when somebody compliments, say thank you. So thank you for saying that. It made me remember.
It's real.
Thank you.
Yeah, yes. Like if you guys are really paying attention, so it's an honor, it's a blessing to me to know you, to network with you, to spend time with you. But it's amazing on how the things you're saying. So I'm gonna use the word manifestation. I'm big on that. So I have, you read it, write it, think it. And, as a kid growing up, we didn't, like we ain't had the tablets and stuff. We had floppy disk and Oregon Trail.
Yeah.
But it rings bells. Like, like you said, like, and what helps me too is playing football. I was able to visualize the tackle. I was able to visualize this. So, that is a way of life. And to hear you say it from your background is like, oh, it's not just made up. It's real. Like, and when you smell the grass, when you smell the air and you feel it, subconsciously it plays out because you've manifested it.
You want to anchor it. When you feel that confidence.
So I gotta learn.
Yes.
Anchor it. Hey,
Yes.
anchor it.
Yes.
You got to remember that. Hey, write that down for me. We got to anchor it.
Yeah. Anchor it with your fingers, anchor it on your ears, anchor it with your shirt, whatever. Or put on that music that you love. And that is your anchoring. Yes. Anchoring music.
Listen, and it's so funny. So I grew up music, whereas it's cleaning music. My dad, when we go out riding to see family members, it was jazz, it was music. But now that you're saying, like, I can add to my level of success by not just manifesting, not just writing, but now anchoring it. Because now when that vision comes, that pinch or whatever is going to make me remember it. It's going to hold. Oh, man, listen.
And you know what? And every time you feel confidence, go ahead and anchor the same point. Anchor the same point. Because when you're not feeling confident, you can go back and access that anchor point. It's like, boom. Yeah. Whenever you want it.
All right. I like that.
Yeah.
So listen, boom. And honestly, my next one we was gonna talk about mental strategies we could use to motivate or discipline with closing. But I mean, we just ran through that. And I mean, I appreciate that, because again, in this industry, it's so many things you can't control. If it's the weather, sometimes people don't want to go out. And this is nobody's side or whatever, but when it's a political year, the market does its things. When it's springtime, when it's fall, when it's summer, there's so many uncontrollables, and it can get you in a rut, because it's like, man, you put a house on the market. And the next thing you know, it's like, well, why I don't have showings this week? Well, it just snowed yesterday. Okay, it's going to be sunny Friday. Then it snows on Saturday. And so knowing that you can do these things to help trigger, thank you for coming on. Did I say that?
You're welcome. You're welcome. So because you asked me that, there are certain things that is within our control. The weather is not in our control. Whatever happens in the political arena is not in our control. Who's going to be the president is not in our control.
Right.
And how the weather is going to be is not in our control. And so whatever is in our control is because you're speaking to the person who took control of her own health. And when I was in 3rd-degree burns to 45% of my body, hospitalized for 27 days, came back home, and the psychiatrist gave me pain medicine. My dad was a cardiologist. He said, don't take the pain medicine. And I was only 23.
Oh,
Okay. So I'm glad I listened. So in the morning, my mom is taking care of me. In the night, when I'm putting my head on the pillow, I could not sleep because they did skin grafts. They took skin from my lower legs and they grafted it to all the areas that was burnt. Because they did the skin graft, when I was putting my head on the pillow, I felt like 1,000 needles pricking me at the same time. So I cannot go to sleep.
right.
So I'm going back and forth, pacing the hallway, just walking. And that, you know what I did? Because nothing is under my control.
Right.
So whatever is in my control was my breath. Focusing on my breath. It's as simple as that. It doesn't matter what the weather is outside. It doesn't matter what your spouse said that made you upset, what your child did, or whatever it is. But I focused on my breath and just inhaling and exhaling. It's as simple as that.
Wow.
And just making tiny movements. I'm a yoga instructor now. At that time, I was not. So I was just making tiny moves,
Right.
telling my breath, I got this, and upgrading my mindset because I had fatalistic thoughts. And I speak now because I've gone through the journey.
Right.
I felt very invaluable. I felt very insignificant because of the person I was married to. But long story short, anybody who's going through a situation like that, who feels like, oh, it's not in my control, your breath is in your control.
Control. At high school, I used to say this thing, and all my players used to, teammates used to make fun of. I used to say, control y'all's breathing. Because, you'd be out of shape and tired. And I was like, listen, because, and like you said, it's a thing that when you getting ready, I learned just going through my process with, and I'll say this with our fraternity, there's things, there's a poem that says, don't let your nerve desert you. And controlling your breathing and calming it down helps you, when you're getting ready for that big deal, to meet that new client in a different area you never been in before, or, just networking in a different room. If you can control your breathing,
yes,
you can control the environment at the end of the day, because now you're over it. So, hey, listen,
you control your breathing, you control your environment.
Yes,
that is so true. Because when I go in thinking, oh my goodness, nobody's going to like me. How am I going to? No, people can see it. So you just go in and focus on your breath. And it's like, okay, Aruna, you got this.
So here's a trick for you. Now, I know we can manifest and you can see that one, but can you truly visualize closing multiple mini deals? Like, is that something doable?
Okay. Can you give you an exercise? So yours.
I don't want.
No, you're not going to cluck like a chicken. So you asked me a question. Can you visualize closing multiple deals?
Yes.
Okay. I want you to close your eyes.
Okay.
And think of you closing multiple deals and whoever you're talking to, and see what you are seeing on their face when you're closing multiple deals. And then what are you hearing? Their family members. Or he's saying, yeah.
I mean, because it's definitely gratitude and you can see it.
Yeah.
It's and for me, so doing that exercise.
And how did you feel when you were saying that? Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
And so for me, it was, I've practiced before, so I didn't know. I used to, like, college and high school, when I had time, I would just sit in the room, sit in the dark, and just relax.
Yes,
so I didn't have to.
That's the key. You just said the magic word. Sit there and relax, because the same thing applies when the realtors are. I'm sure you guys take an exam to pass.
Yep, you do.
So when you're studying, you are in a relaxed mode, so you are absorbing all the material. When you go take the exam, people are like, "Oh my God, I have to take this exam."
The nerves, the anxious. You get
so you said the magic word. You relax. You create that environment in the head. Like that is how you were, right? When you were studying, you were relaxed.
Right.
So go back. So can I give you another tip?
Go ahead. I've got you.
So you sit tall. When you want to feel confident, you don't feel confident sitting like this.
Correct.
So you sit tall, right? For the realtors who are going to take the exam, and raise your eyes. This is the horizon. Raise it like maybe 20 degrees up. Not so much that it's bothering your eyes. Raise your eyes up and stay there. Stay focused. So stay there so you can see whatever is going on the sides.
Oh, I like that.
Right? And because when we are foveal vision focused like this, we are like stressed out. Oh my God, I have to take care of this. I have to do this. No, when you're relaxed, you're able to see, like I can see you,
Right.
I can see the lights here, all of that. So it's important to be relaxed. So everything is going on. You can tap into that anytime when you're driving, when you're studying. So you said the magic word, be relaxed.
Okay.
And that way you can visualize closing multiple deals. And I actually created a audio program. That is how to manifest, like tap into your subconscious mind. Just 17 minutes. 17 minutes each day. And everybody deserves that 17 minutes for themselves. All you have to do is sit back, relax, and listen to my voice.
Right.
And I guide you through every day, right? And 30-day program and just 17 minutes each day. And not only that, people who sign up for it, they get an extra bonus that is worth like more than $115 that I guide you through, that can stop you from self-sabotaging yourself and motivate you.
Right.
And focus on your breath, all of that.
Ooh.
Yes.
Okay.
So they get all of that and for lifetime.
So I have, let me see if I can stump you. Because you just gave us a daily routine. So we got a 30-day routine, realtors. We got to lock in. How can agents improve their emotional intelligence to build trust? So, and trust and rapport with their clients. I mean, so for me, I have my way of doing it, but is there?
What is your way?
I mean,
you don't want to give it to me?
No. So for me, it's just being comfortable in my skin. It's being me.
There you go.
I give them me.
Yes.
And so, I'm not for everybody.
Yes.
And it's okay.
Yes.
So but is that the advice, just to be you, or is it a thinking? Is it a breathing? Is there a clenching? Like, what is it? If this was the last advice you would give, what would that be? What would you say?
To build rapport with your clients?
Yep. Just new clients and past. Like, is there a mental or is there an exercise or something that you would suggest?
It's a combination.
Okay. I'm ready.
So yes, you can do the breathing.
Okay.
And so if you're meeting a new client, okay, I'm giving you all the trade secrets.
I like this. I like this.
So if you're meeting a new client, and if your client is sitting with the legs, flat on the floor, match them. And if your client is sitting with their legs, crossed over, match them. Just gently, not mocking them, right? Or if they're having their hands like you're sitting with the hands crossed, so just match them. Guess what? So then the other person like, ooh, okay, we are vibing together.
I like that. Hey, listen, don't be trying to steal my secrets, y'all.
No. Every you can do one or the other. You don't have to do everything the other person is doing. Or if you don't want to do any of that, just match their tone.
I like that.
Or if it's like you are like vibrant person, so I have to match that, right? So
this is you anyway. So listen.
Yes.
Please. Okay.
Pick one to build that rapport and be authentic. So I cannot be like you. I have to be authentic to myself.
All right. Okay.
But at the same time, I'm like, okay, Janelle, so whether it is how they use certain words, then mimic that.
Right.
Not to the point where they feel like, ooh, what is she doing? No.
Okay.
But, either crossing the legs or holding the hands or, matching their, just like nodding, whatever.
Right? Right. Match
Pick one. Yeah.
I like that.
And you don't want to keep on doing that. Then they'll be like, ooh. No,
It's kind
just
of weird.
do it for yeah, exactly.
Right.
It's weird. So just for like maybe 3 seconds, 6 seconds, and they'll get it.
I like that.
And even when they are like sitting like this, they will turn around like, okay, then let's talk.
They opened up.
Yeah.
The wall, the
Yeah.
bridge is now down.
Yep.
All right. So listen, hey guys, so listen, we might do a part 2 of this and dive in deeper. And I'm thinking we probably will. But I do want to say I appreciate you for coming on. I truly do. The knowledge and information you give it in just this short amount of time, I think not just realtors, but anybody can benefit from it. Sorry. And I just, again, I appreciate it because we have that ebb and flow in real estate and that mind. And then, because they say statistically, I think it was like 80 or so realtors are emotional. They business is emotional. So if they're up, their business is up. If they're down, their business is down. So now they create and understand how you can get a platform or a balance out there. It's great to know. And I appreciate it.
You have to influence yourself.
I like that.
Then you can influence anybody else.
Oh, y'all heard that? You got to be your own influence. So listen, again, Aruna, thank you. Yeah, for coming in, and I appreciate the information. Tell people how to reach you. How can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram, my first name _ last name,
Okay.
Aruna Ramamurthy. You can also find me on Facebook, Aruna Ramamurthy, Master Success Coach.
Okay.
I also have Empowerment Coach. So my first name, last name, and try Empowerment Coach or Master Success Coach. And I appreciate you so much for having me over and making me feel comfortable. And yeah.
The pleasure is all mine. I truly do. Again, it is your favorite realtor, Danelle Shepherd. What's your favorite podcast? And always remember, with me, your house is key. Peace.
Thanks for listening to Your House is Key with Danelle Shepherd. Each week, Danelle dives into essential tips, insider secrets, and expert advice to help you navigate the exciting journey of home ownership and home selling. From understanding market trends and finding the perfect neighborhood to even securing financing, staging your home, and closing the deal, there's only one guy that gets it done. Danelle Shepherd, right here at yourhouseskey.com.